So as I was saying, I'm Alexander Suriani, mole in the right hand, penguin duck birthmark. As I just said in the TV room, it's 1:58, August 16th, in my parents' TV room upstairs. There's something they call the real game and then the mini game. In the real game, they're calling me some sitting duck, and I was quote going to learn how to swim because they all know I'd never seen this game, never played it, and they thought I was going to learn to swim, and they call me a sitting duck because I had never seen it. A key point was, I guess the real game was global, and people from all over the world were giving me information. But part of the reasons for giving me information were there was these truth bets. So they were telling me stuff, I guess, to make it look like I was an investigator because there was a bigger picture, maybe a frame. And so these guys were trying to frame me and make it look like I'd seen some game and make it look like I was some investigator, as well as one of these mind melder shitbags and these new age investigators as well. When I wasn't, I was always just chilling at home. So they were telling me stuff and then covering up that telepathy was real, I guess, to make it look like I was an investigator and make it look like I was investigating stuff as well as for betting manipulation and maybe for a frame of some sort. Because I guess they were trying to make it look like I had seen some game I had never seen before. And then they kept trying to make it look like I had played some game I had never played and started some more I never started. So maybe they were trying to frame me for this mind melder jazz, whatever these mind melders were doing, which was never me. And maybe they were giving me information via telepathy that they were acquiring through this mind melding jazz and this implantation and telepathy. So part of the ways I was getting truth was, I guess they were trying to manipulate these truth bets and make me look like an investigator, but I was oblivious, so never knew. And that's how I'd get information. I'd overhear people blackmailing people who didn't even know I'd overhear them. So that's how I was getting information. Some people would tell me stuff to put pressure on other parties because they knew I'd never seen the game. And people would always threaten to say, I'm going to tell Alex the real truth, because they all knew I'd never seen the game. And so they all kept trying to threaten each other. And when they would threaten each other, people would start telling me stuff to put pressure on each other because they were all blackmailing each other. So that was another piece of this, how I'd get truth. But I guess these mind melders are liked in some places and disliked elsewhere, maybe. And so maybe they were trying to frame me as this mind melder shitbag. And mind melder shitbags in different parts of the world, because supposedly they were telling people they were trying to give me fame or something. And they were trying to make it look like I was capable of things I wasn't. But they weren't trying to give me fame. They were trying to orchestrate a frame. As I've said numerous times, there was a criminal character profile maybe that these guys were trying to fulfill, and they kept trying to make me look like a hacker, a mind melder. They would try to make it look like I knew financial crimes. They were trying to make me look like I knew X, Y, and Z, but maybe it was for a greater picture, a bigger picture, such as a frame. Because there was something about New York and some bank heist. So maybe they were trying to make it look like I was capable of pulling off a bank heist, and then they're using a betting ring to, I guess, see if I could fulfill certain criteria in order to be capable of pulling off a bank heist, because there's something about some bank heist in 2016 or something. And so maybe you had to be one of these implantation terrorists, a hacker, a programmer, a mind melder shitbag, and God knows what else. Those are just some of the things I hear about. But I was never any of these things. But they would try to make me look like one and frame me as a mind melder, a hacker, a programmer, a financial crimes guy, and they would try to do that through bets to manufacture false perceptions with their betting ring and betting results. Because one time I was just on my computer and they said someone was hacking you, and then I just turned off my computer and they said he won. He got the hacker belt. But they're pretending to make me money, but they're really trying to give me hacker credentials to make it look like I could be a hacker for a frame. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So maybe that's why they made it easy, because I turned off my computer and they acted like I won something. But what they're really trying to do is, rather than help me, they're trying to frame me and give me hacker criteria. Then one time I was analyzing my experience when they were trying to use frame squad tactics on me. And I was talking about the image interaction, where they'd fire an image and then, or if I think of an image, they'd interact with the BCI from a quantum computer in real time and could even influence the outcomes of the images. And I drew a diagram of this. And then they tried to give me a mind melder warlord belt, supposedly, for this diagram I drew. But were they trying to give me a mind melder warlord belt to help me? Or were they trying to frame me for something and make it look like I was capable of things I wasn't? So my theory is a frame, not fame. And then they were even telling people supposedly to make videos of me as a mind melder around the world or something. but it wasn't about fame. It was about a frame. That's my theory. And I never asked for fame anyways, key point. So they really weren't trying to give me fame. They were trying to frame me for whatever the fuck they were doing, from bank heists to holding people hostage, like covert hostage scenarios, extortion. But I was always at home, chilling, playing guitar, et cetera, bitching on Twitter about these terrorists. So who are probably doing stuff outside of America. What else were they doing? So all my documents are about what I'm a victim of, not what I'm involved in. So if you see my real methods of analysis, it's just someone trying to reason through something in a world they don't understand, and just analyzing what I'm experiencing and trying to just log their hustles and log their tactics. People with specifics probably know these little mind melder shitbags and know the people who place the devices, create the devices, etc. I never know where the devices are placed because, like I said, a lot of the feelings are uncharacterizable. And there's a lot of betting manipulation going on. So a lot of people turn on multiple devices at once. And I'm not even participating. People just start turning devices on out of the blue. I'm not even aware that there's a bet going on half the time. I just start flipping out. But a lot of them is uncharacterizable. So people who know specifically where they're placed, especially when there's multiple devices going on and it'd be impossible to identify, those are some of the key people probably placing the devices or knowing the guy placing the devices. And some of them may be linked via synthetic telepathy, and maybe that's how they transmit the info to each other. My theory. What else? What else could be a part of their frame? So there's hacking. I'm not sure the programming. Maybe the programming is they're trying to make it look like I could create some computer game. No, not a programmer. Not a hacker either. Have the computer knowledge of a biology major. Well, we didn't use computers in med school. No computer classes in med school that I can recall. Mind melding, never seen the tech. And like I said, I have telepathy. So in the telepathy, you'd see, like, I guess, instructions and controls and this and that in the telepathy outputs, which were never present. Not to mention the pathway to get to the mind melder technology you would see. So all these things they say I've seen and done and played, there's probably a route to get there, which is never in my telepathy output. There's probably a series of steps you have to follow to get to this game, or to get to this mind melder tech, or to get to X, Y, and Z, which is never in my outputs, which should tell you I've never seen this shit. Key point. But if you know more about this, because I've never seen this jazz, I just hear about it via telepathy, like these belts and this and that. What other components of this game could be evidence of them trying to orchestrate a frame? And it's not just betting manipulation or making money, winning bets, or whatever they're doing. There's a bigger picture. So they tell you they're doing something nice, trying to make me famous, or they're trying to make me rich. But what they're really trying to do is create a criminal character profile, such as mind melder, hacker, programmer, betting manipulator, financial crimes guy. And what they're trying to do is create a criminal profile of me, telling people I've encountered in life they're trying to make me rich, but they're really trying to frame me for something, maybe a previous crime, like a bank heist in New York or wherever else. And that's a piece of it. So they tell you it's a movie. They tell you they're trying to make me rich, say X, Y, and Z, but they're really trying to create a criminal profile and then make it look like have these criminal characteristics and that I'm capable of pulling off a bank heist by saying he won this bet, that bet, and that bet, and this bet, and this and that, when I never did, or I did in a weird way without even trying. And that's my theory. It wasn't about fame. It wasn't about helping me. It was about a frame. And they were trying to generate a fake criminal profile by saying I'm capable of hacking or capable of mind melding or programming or X, Y, or Z. So don't fall for bullshit. And they're trying to frame me for previous crimes that they were already being investigated in or got caught for while I lived in New York and Brooklyn in 2014 to 2017. Key point. So I'm Alexander Surya Jayani, Mullen, the right-hand penguin duck birthmark. I've already tipped off law enforcement about this numerous times now. Maybe it'll start falling together.